Hello, everyone. I'm Mandy Knapp, State Librarian of Ohio. I'm so excited for you to learn more about our Library Service Technology Act grants, which are federal grants from the Institute of Museum and Library Services. It's a wonderful program, and I'm so excited about all that you're going to learn. Thank you.
Hi there. I'm Evan Struble. I'm the Associate State Librarian here at the State Library of Ohio, and it is my privilege to be able to say that as Associate State Librarian, one of the tasks that I get to do is oversee how the State Library of Ohio administers its federal funds from the Institute of Museum and Library Services, or IMLS. We receive our federal funds, LSTA funds, Library Services and Technology Act funds, each year from IMLS, roughly to the tune of $5.4 million. And I'm really proud to say that half of that goes back out to the libraries that we serve in the form of grants. And today I'm going to spend some time diving into the LSTA grants that the State Library of Ohio offers to all library types around the state. And of course, like a good librarian, my list is alphabetical rather than when they fall on the calendar. So bear with me as I go through the list. The first grant that we offer annually is our Celebrating Ohio Book Awards and Authors grant. And if you think that's a mouthful, you're correct. We call it COBAA for short, COBAA. This grant allows libraries to support their collection development initiatives at the local library with a focus on books and authors that pertain to Ohio in some way. This grant allows libraries to apply for up to $2,000 to purchase these books for their libraries, and the libraries themselves do not have to come to the table with a cash match. So that $2,000 would be the libraries to spend in its entirety on this collection development grant. There is a list of prescribed titles that libraries must choose from when applying for this grant, but it is a really great opportunity to bolster the bookshelves in a time of trying budget issues at the local level. So I would encourage anyone to consider when that rolls around. Second, our largest grant opportunity is our competitive grants, and they're called competitive grants because sadly they are the most competitive. This allows a library of any type in Ohio to apply for up to $50,000 in federal LSTA funds to meet the criteria of one of three umbrella categories. The first of which is library as community anchor. So these would be projects that would be focused on the library building itself. Now, the federal grant funds cannot be used for construction, unfortunately, but it can be used to support programs and initiatives that take place within the library, and that is why that umbrella topic exists. We want you to think about what are the programs that are drawing people into your building? Is there a group of folks that you're trying to bring back into your facility after the height of COVID? That type of thing. The second umbrella category for the competitive grants is literacy. How simple is that? Literacy can be defined in so many different ways, and not just the traditional reading of books, but that certainly is part of it. But think also about digital literacy, financial literacy, health literacy. You can be really creative with how you might meet the terms of that topic with your grant proposal. Finally, the third umbrella term for the competitive grants is outreach and engagement. So this is kind of the opposite of the first category. What are the programs and initiatives that you're trying to do outside of your building to meet your community's needs, and how could an LSTA grant help support that? As I mentioned, that grant is available for up to $50,000 in federal funds, but the library does need to come to the table prepared to put up a 25% local match. And that can be operating funds that you have, that could be funds from your Friends of the Library group, that could be a donation from the community. It just cannot be other federal funds. You cannot match federal funds with federal funds. The third grant that I want to talk about today and spotlight is our partnership with the Ohio Preservation Council. This is our conservation and preservation grant, and this is a really cool one. This is a grant that allows libraries up to $4,999 to conserve or preserve an interesting object that's in your library or a part of your collection, most likely something that has some historical value to your library or to your community. You would work with a conservator, a professional that deals with fixing and repairing issues with paper, with other types of mediums. We've seen some really interesting projects grow out of this grant, including preserving historic trunks from a library on the Ohio River to preserving historic statues and paintings, documents that were belonging to particular poets and artists. It's a really interesting way to spotlight the historical collections and facets of your facility to your community. So I would encourage folks to check out that one as well. Guiding Ohio Online is our fourth LSTA grant that we offer each year, and this one is near and dear to my heart. Having been around this grant initiative for over 10 years now, it's really powerful. It allows libraries, public libraries in Ohio that serve rural populations to hire as a contractor a technology trainer to assist with technology, computer training for the public in the rural communities that the library serves. This is another grant where the library will apply for a particular dollar amount, which you will actually set. And then you do have to come to the table with a 25% cash match for that grant as well. Typically, looking back at the past 5 years or so, 18 to 23 libraries are awarded this grant each year, and the testimonials that come out of it are so powerful and really touch the heart. It's so heartwarming to share those stories with legislators when we're giving budget testimony, or with other library directors when we're encouraging them to look at the offerings that we have here at the State Library that they might consider doing themselves. The fifth grant that I want to take some time with is perhaps the most wide open grant, and it is called the Open Grant for that reason. This allows libraries to apply for up to $4,999 to see the germ of an idea become reality. There aren't a lot of guardrails on this grant, and that's intentional. We're really curious to see what is new and exciting and innovative that you're trying to do in your community. It helps us better understand the libraries that we're serving, and it also helps inform how we might develop future grant and training opportunities for libraries around the state based on this burgeoning idea, this burgeoning technology, or this burgeoning initiative that you are looking to bring to bear. These are competitive in nature. There's only a certain amount of money that can go around, but this is also a great stepping stone for libraries that might be a little more intimidated by the grant writing process. The parameters for this grant are a little less, the reporting requirements for this grant are a little bit less than others. And so I would encourage everyone to take a look at our Open Grant Initiative, especially if you came to work one morning and you were like, I wonder if there's money available to do XYZ, fill in the blank. See if that's something that might fit within the parameters of this grant, and give it a shot, apply. Finally, I want to talk about one of our true bread and butter grants. It's evergreen, it's always in demand, which also makes it competitive in nature, and that's our Summer Library Program grant. You know, the State Library of Ohio is so proud to support summer library programs around the state, and how better to do that than to offer up to $2,000 for libraries of all types that have any sort of summer programming, and to be able to support the programs and the performers and the programs that go around carrying out that summer library initiative. We do ask that libraries bring a 25% cash match to the table when applying for this grant, but it is again, one of the hallmarks of what we offer, and the reports that come to us and the pictures that are shown with us afterwards, of just the children and adults and senior citizens just enjoying so much the ability to celebrate the library and reading in the summer months. Again, so heartwarming, so touching. I've listed several grants that we offer on an annual basis, and I'd be remiss if I didn't let you all know that over time, we have been able to be nimble and offer grants on various other topics as well. Over the past 7 years or so since I've been in my position, we've seen grants that are centered around mental health first aid. We've seen grants that are centered around encouraging libraries to join consortia. We've seen grants centered around metadata of digital collections. And so even though I've dove deep on these 6 annual grants that we offer, I do want to let everyone know that we are always listening. We're always taking feedback to heart. We're taking the temperature of what the trends are and seeing how we can develop grant programs to support those along the way. The last thing I want to mention is that we don't come up with the ideas for these grants in a vacuum. We are guided by a 5-year plan that is specific to our use of LSTA funds. IMLS requires each state library to submit a 5-year plan, and that helps guide the use of federal funds over the course of that 5 years. So our current 5-year plan runs through the end of federal fiscal year 2027. So you might see some different grant topics and some changes to some of these grants that I just mentioned in 2027 and 2028. And I just wanted to put that out there depending on when you're watching this video. Again, I just spent the last 10 minutes or so going over the LSTA grants that we offer here at the State Library. I really appreciate your time in watching today, and I'm here. If you have any questions or want additional follow-up, please reach out to me at my contact information on the screen. Thank you.